welcome to the Mobi Update, your weekly talk show for the mobile technology and industry news. I'm Chrystie, and this is my lovely co-host,
Gigi.
And every week we will be bringing you the latest news of the mobile technology industry and industry events. Without further ado, let's get right into the mobile marketplace. What's new this week, Gigi?
Well, cellular sales are down in general, resulting from a 10% decrease in mobile device sales in Q4 2008. Which is not surprising if we think about, the economic outlook at this time.
You know what, though, it is surprising because Q4 is usually holiday sales.
Yes,
right? So
generally
people are buying
sales,
it for Christmas.
But as it is, the consumer purchasing power is down quite a bit.
That's true.
And although the mobile, mobile is somewhat insulated from the rest of the economy because people still need their phones. It's now like a necessity, like your house and food and your
internet
and your mobile phone.
Absolutely.
Exactly, it's
Absolutely.
right out there. But still, people purchasing power is down a bit, as well as the fact that people aren't buying as many devices because they're actually pretty happy with their phones these days.
That makes sense, and I was thinking about this just the other day. People who have iPhones or BlackBerries become so addicted to these devices that they don't want to trade, right? They want to keep them. That's a really great point. That's a great point.
But if you look at some of the largest manufacturers out there, Nokia really has been hit hard. They posted a 47% loss in earnings from last year.
Right, and they're worldwide. They are a major player worldwide.
Global market leader. But they don't have very much traction here in the United States, and they really lost out a lot on the smartphone marketplace, which they used to dominate. However, they are coming out with a new device, the N97, and they're putting a lot of their marketing efforts behind it. And early
I heard this. Yes, they say it's going to be the next iPhone killer.
They do. Reviews are pretty good so far. Early reviews, and clearly we've yet really to see
an iPhone killer.
However, the future, Nokia could produce the next iPhone killer.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if the Nokia device will have video conferencing, because it looks like the iPhone may have video conferencing. Yes, very shortly. So Alexander Wolf from Information Week was actually going through some of Apple's patents and came across one which mentioned video conferencing several times throughout the spec. It also had diagrams which featured a little video camera and some of the motions of video conferencing. Word on the street is that the next version of the iPhone is going to come with a front-facing camera specifically designed for video conferencing.
Because right now iPhone doesn't have video.
Right now.
BlackBerry does.
Oh yes, it does. Okay. That's one up for BlackBerry.
I'm a big BlackBerry fan, and Chrystie's an iPhone addict.
Junkie. Actually, no, this is a great lead into the next story, because I want you to tell me about the BlackBerry Application Store.
Well, the long-awaited BlackBerry Application Storefront, which is the unofficial name at this time, it looks like that could be the name though, is now looks like it's getting closer, and it should be launching the end of March 2009.
Wow.
So pretty exciting. BlackBerry was actually jumped on the focus on third-party developing applications right after iPhone, and put together the BlackBerry's Partners Fund, which I just found out is actually larger than the iPhone fund at $150 million as opposed to $100 million.
Wow.
However, this has been a long time in the running, and they've now open submission process, and it looks like the fund will be launching in March. And another thing is
interesting.
Yeah, the rev share at the iPhone is actually, I think, 70-30.
Yes.
So developers get to keep 70% of the revenue, but in BlackBerry it looks like they'll be able to keep 80%.
Wow.
So we'll see what that does for incenting people to build great apps for
we will see.
For the BlackBerry App Store. Pretty cool.
That's great. I'm anxious to see if BlackBerry users adopt the App Store as iPhone users have.
Yeah. I think that's something that the industry
is coming to expect now, right? Everyone wants a phone that they can download some apps on. Speaking of apps, it's time for the Google Apps of the Week. This week, I'd like to feature the Hammer Time app, and You Can't Touch Us. It's actually too legit to quit. Yes, it is an MC Hammer iPhone application. Any of the children of the 80s remember those MC Hammer pants? Can't touch us.
It's pretty good. I tried some of those pants.
But he's coming back, right? So he's on social media, he's doing Twitter, and now he has an iPhone app. And on the iPhone app, you can, check in on the news, on the events. Some of his old videos are on there. His Twitter feed's on there. So it's pretty cool. Hammer Time, it's free. Get it in the App Store.
Can you do that? Can't touch us.
Can't touch us, dude.
I think it's worth you just doing that.
let's get into some entertainment news.
Entertainment news.
Absolutely.
I'd like to talk about the hottest celebrity out there these days.
Well, clearly you're talking about Justin Timberlake. Clearly.
No, Justin Timberlake, not at all. The hottest celebrity out there right now is our president.
Oh, of course, Obama.
Especially in the mobile space. And
Yes,
everybody has
Barack
been
Obama.
talking about his BlackBerry for the last
Yes.
month, since the inauguration.
Yeah, last week they determined, yes, he's going to be able to keep his BlackBerry with super encryption, of course.
It's a pimped out presidential BlackBerry.
Presidential.
It is.
Pimped out BlackBerry. Absolutely.
Very cool.
The question though is, who's going to have his email?
Yeah, that's the new question. You know, who are the few of the people they've come out and said?
Well, they said Joe Biden, of course.
Biden.
His chief of staff.
Michelle probably.
His wife will probably have it. His top advisors will definitely have that email.
It sounds like people are being pretty mum on it, but which kind of makes sense, I guess.
Well, you know what? They even said his email is likely to change very frequently for security purposes. Yeah.
I would guess that Oprah got it.
Oh,
and
of course.
Hillary.
Oh, ouch. Hillary.
Anyway, moving on, we want to talk about a star who's making a huge comeback, Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, absolutely.
Britney Spears is going to be headed out on the road for her circus tour, and Virgin Mobile is just announced that they're going to be the title sponsor on the tour.
Yes.
This is actually in conjunction with the launch of their new Ocean 2 device, which is which I'll actually let you talk about a little bit because I know you've been reading the reviews.
Yes. The Ocean 2 is a very cool phone. It's a dual slider, which means you slide it up to dial a phone number, and then you slide it to the side to text. It comes with a friend finder, buddy beacon, where it has GPS. It's got a 2 megapixel camera. It has SMS and email capabilities. For those of you who are familiar with the older model, this one's slightly slimmer, a little bit smaller. Very sleek though.
Sounds like pretty cool.
It's very cool. It's great for messaging, right? So it's a quick messaging device. I think it's like $70 with a 2-year contract.
Not bad.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a great way for Helio to come back, and it's great for Britney Spears too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They'll come back there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, moving on to our favorite part of this Mobi update is the great debate, hot or not.
And it's not a beauty contest.
It's not a beauty contest. But what it is that every episode, Chrystie and myself will debate a topic, a hot topic in the mobile industry. This week it is going to be to tweet or not to tweet, talking about Twitter. And the coolest part of this is that we want you guys to vote. We want you to tell us whether or not we're hot or not. So instructions will flash up, and what you're going to do is throughout the course of the debate, you can text Mobi up, MOBIUP to 67463, and we'll give you the numbers again at the end. But without further ado, we should get started.
Yes, let's do it.
So question is to tweet or not to tweet, and I'm going to kick it off.
Okay.
I am not a fan of Twitter, and I think the main reason is, what point does it serve? You know, Twitter came on the heels of very successful social networking sites, Facebook, MySpace, Where, and Buddy Beacon on our mobile device, and those all have the ability to answer the question, what am I doing right now? Update my status. And as far as I can see from Twitter, the only purpose is to answer the question, what am I doing right now? So it's not doing anything that all these other sites aren't doing.
It is allowing you to engage with people in your industry, right? So I use it to find out what others are talking about, or what links they're sharing, or what's really going on. I use it in a way that allows me to crowdsource. So I get information from people. I really use it as an information gathering point, whereas in Facebook and MySpace, you can't necessarily do that.
Okay. Still not convinced. And I think my main problem with Twitter is that the privacy concerns is just scary. I mean, people that you barely know or that you don't even know at all, having access to what you're doing and where you are at all times, it's pretty frightening. I mean, I know we haven't seen any big Twitter stalking headlines yet, but I'm afraid to say that I think that they're in the not too distant future.
Well, you know what, I think it's all about what you put out there, right? So if you're responsible about what you put out there and you don't put out too much personal information, then you don't really have any concerns. You just need to be professional, responsible about it. That's it.
Okay. All right. So anyway, without further ado, once again, text Mobi up to 67463 and decide whether or not Chrystie is hot or I'm hot. And
thank you for tuning into our first Mobi update. We look forward to many more.
And bringing you the hottest news in the mobile industry.
Thanks.